The night where he's in Judah asleep. I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now or forever hold your peace. There's a night where he's in Judah asleep. I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Greetings. I'm George Boston Rhymes with the Get To Free Press, and I'm located in Valdosta, Georgia. Yesterday afternoon, I received a call from Justice League United, Bobby Worthy. Be advised that I have not been called by an elected official in Douglas and Coffee County, Georgia, that was arrested yesterday. Be advised that I have not been called by the City Commissioner, Olivia Coley Pearson, that were arrested yesterday. I do not have the facts concerning her arrest, concerning the historic racist Board of Elections board supervisor, I am told, and those that deals with seeking to have Olivia Coley Pearson removed from office, jailed, and imprisoned. The historic record dating back for years, if not decades, have been hyped against this elected official. But since I do not have the facts about why she was arrested yesterday, I'm not going to talk about that. But I am more than qualified to speak on the subject of voter suppression, voter intimidation, voter impediments, and removing black elected officials from office by any means necessary. I have been doing this since December 21st, 2010. The historic record of removing blacks who are not afraid of white people and white racists and sellout Negroes. That's right, sellout Negroes. The sellout Negroes join white people in destroying the most educated, the most upright black folk in cities across the state of Georgia who speak out on behalf of what is right and what is just. I'm not going to do a long video today. I'm only going to ask you all not to put too much credibility in what is published in the white-owned, white-dominated, and white-controlled news media. This includes newspaper, television, radio, networks in Douglas and Coffee County, Georgia, concerning Olivia Coley Pearson. She is indeed a controversial figure. They have tried over and over again to destroy her. I don't know what happened yesterday, but I know what happened decades ago. Much of it I have documented on my YouTube channel, Boston G.B.R. And the historic archival record of truth will reveal how every time, without exception, they tried to send this outstanding, outspoken black female to jail, to prison, and back to civilian life. They failed, but they keep trying. They keep trying. So today I'm going to ask you all to Google Boston G.B.R. on YouTube. I'm asking you to Google Olivia Coley Pearson not guilty of voter fraud charges. Google Olivia Coley Pearson before former Georgia Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp in Macon, Georgia. Google Olivia Coley Pearson. G.B.R. spoke up on her behalf, and see what a young black juror said took place in the jury box. Listen now, in the jury box, and how she believed the foreman on that jury was indeed a racist and tried to get her sent to prison. Moreover, I have it documented during the last election. Listen to what I'm saying now. And I want somebody to try to sue me. I have documented proof that during the night of the election in Coffee County, Commissioner Olivia Coley Pearson asked the supervisor, "Why are you all counting ballots in the back and not out here with us?" All the white news media followed the group of people in the back office where the voting process was taking place away from the general public. And I was asked as a member of the press to follow those white news outlets in the back, at which point the black father of the mayor, I think his name Mr. Park, told me I could not go back where the other news media members was going. I kept going. And when I stopped, I got this recorded. I was informed, "You cannot go any further. Stop." And I stopped. The Board of Election Supervisor, I'm not giving her name because that's not important here yet. You'll see that in the video if you Google what I'm asking you to Google. Rather than let the Get To Free Press, me, Go into the little back room where the other new white controlled, white owned, and white dominated press was. They made them come out, go around in front of the glass partition, and she told me that's where I need to go. She even instructed me, as a public official, do not record me. Do not turn that camera at me. I'm not going to call her name, but if you watch the video, you can see her for yourself. Now, moreover, in Douglas and Coffee County, you cannot film in the parking lot of that voting precinct, because I'm told, this is the Board of Election now, because I'm told that at the voting precincts in Coffee County, you got to be back so many feet. You know, in many other counties, and y'all know I travel across half the state of Georgia plus. I have never been to a county that, as a member of the press, I could not record in the parking lot or where they were voting, as long as I stay out the way of voting and away from the machines. If all Georgia counties deny access to the news media as Douglas and Coffee County, Georgia, what does that mean, Brother Hines? That means that you would never see inside of a voting precinct in the state of Georgia. In Valdosta, we do selfies, but with the Georgia flag and the United States flag behind us, just like I'm holding here. But not in Douglas and Coffee County. They say that's illegal. And they say they have set up laws to keep you from recording. Yet you see police officers, many of them, dominating the voting place and precinct. Some say it's a form of intimidation. Bobby Worthy have talked about this at some of the elections that have transpired in Douglas and Coffee County. So I am only doing an introduction to the arrest of an outstanding black female that have definitely caught hell on the backside of heaven in Coffee County, Georgia. Now, I am sure, as they have done many times before, they are trying to remove Olivia Coley Pearson from the city commission position that she was voted for. I don't know what took place. For the most part, she may be guilty. I really don't know. I'm not speaking of her guilt and innocence. I'm speaking about what I have documented and what these white people, along with the help of some black folks, consistently try to do to get rid of strong, outspoken black leaders, especially when they are women. Brother Rhymes, you may ask, where do you get your information? Where can I find a historic archival record? You can go to Madison, Florida with the Madison, Florida 9. You can go to Quitman in Brooks County, Georgia with the Quitman 10+2. You can go to former Meigs Mayor Linda Harris and the mayor before her and let them tell the differences on how they were treated. Then you can leave there and go to Camilla, Georgia with Mayor Rufus Davis. Then you can leave there and go to former Mayor Charles Gibson in Lumpkin, Georgia. You can leave there and go to former Mayor of Dawson, Georgia, with Christopher Wright, who was shot 6 times in his mother's front yard and left for dead. But he survived. He survived. Then you can move on around to Clayton County, Georgia. Then you can move on around to Warrenton, Georgia with Georgia Ivey. See how the white folks treated him, just like they treated these other black elected officials across the state of Georgia under Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp and his lead investigator, Glenn Archie. You will see, if you check the historic record, how they brought the Quitman 10 up on bogus charges, put their life on hold and torment in hell for 4 years, only to clear all 12 of those educated black people in the county that I graduated from high school. Wait a minute. This thing is so gross and so racist and so dirty and so unfair and so un-American until it is a disgrace to our republic. You think I'm finished? No. Go to Sparta and Hancock County. All you have to do is go to the black community and ask people to speak Rachel Maddow, but you won't do it. Al Sharpton. All you have to do is travel there, as the New York Times did in Sparta and Hancock County, but you won't do it because you don't care. The Democratic Party know about all of this that I just mentioned, and I'm not halfway done yet. You think the Democratic Party went and supported these people? Hell no. Left them out to be prosecuted, put in jail, in prison, but by the help of our God, almost without exception, they was victorious over this wicked system that we see each and every day. We hear our president talk about voter suppression, voter intimidation, sending in your ballots. But you don't see where they went to examine the transcript in the case of the Madison, Florida 9. The transcript definitely of the Quitman 10+2. If Rachel Maddow and President Barack Obama and Eric Holder Heck came into the defense of voting rights in Brooks County, Georgia, they could have had a landmark court case here in the state of Georgia. And it's not too late. But now, if you go get the transcript, you may find, I didn't say you would, but you may find even that have been altered. You see? It's a disgrace when the news media, the local newspapers, the radio, and the television stations will not even publish this information. You see, in these small towns in the state of Georgia, they do all this among their friends in the clique and among the slicks. They know that it won't get out to the larger communities because they all are in the same bag together, without exception, without a thorough reporter going into any of these cities and counties and really digging deep, walking the streets as I have done, publishing it on Facebook, Instagram, and other sites. But because the whites are in control of the news media of this dispensation, they trick your minds. They make you think that you don't have any value. Hold on, let me finish and close this out. Spalding, Hancock County. Man, if people told me they burned the courthouse down. Yeah, and that's what they say. Now, I got videos on this. So they burned the old courthouse down to get rid of documents. I don't know whether that's true or not. But you can check and look into it if you care, but most Americans don't give a damn. Leave there. Go to Davisboro, Georgia. See how elected officials, black, was catching hell on the backside of heaven in that little small Georgia town. Wait a minute. Go to Gordon, Georgia, and see how they drug Olivia Coley Pearson. No, not Olivia. Mayor Ann Whipperloo. They are almost just alike in that they are fighters. They are sheroes in the black community. But the white folk, I'm not talking all white, I'm talking the wicked white folk. They hated her from day one in Gordon, Georgia. Got her, violating her oath of office, along with many other charges, different incidents. They tried to conquer her. They were unsuccessful. Of course, she lost her bid for second term, but I have it documented that all the news media outlets in Macon, Georgia, in Middle Georgia, lied on Olivia Coley Pearson. It's documented. She tell you on the video that I interviewed her on. She told you she couldn't trust them, so she wouldn't give them interviews. She granted me interviews because she knew that somewhere St. John 8:32 must be heard, and that is, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. But it's a shame the way they did her. It is indeed a shame. It is a shame how black folk in that town failed to support her. Now she running for state office. Because you just can't handle truth any kind of way. And you can't handle God's chosen people any kind of way without paying a price. And those who think they got away by mistreating all these people that I have named, they better get the volume of Sacred Law and read Galatians 6 and 7, which says that God is not mocked. For whatsoever man sow, that shall he also reap. And God will rightfully punish the wicked. And some of these white folk think they got away. Some of these black people who joined them in their satanic ways think they gonna get away. But Matthew 24:35 says that heaven and earth would pass away, but my word gonna stand forever. Other words, if you get away, your punishment gonna fall upon your children, your grandchildren, down to the third and fourth generation. And there ain't a thing you can do about it. I feel sorry for the children of the wicked when they start receiving their punishment for what they've done to the black people of America, along with the white right people that stood on the square of truth, justice, and measured their lives by the plumb line of justice. Leave Gordon, Georgia. Go to Telfair County, in the county where Sheriff Stevenson served as sheriff. Move on around to Nichols, Georgia, where $750,000 was missing. This is under the same circuit with Bond Hill and Arbery, Brooks, and others, where black people was murdered by law enforcement and others, and nothing was done about it. They too, the judicial system, Waycross, Brunswick, all in that district are being questioned now. Are being questioned now. Move on around to Willacoochee, Georgia, where the mayor was paying black folks to vote for him in elections years ago. News media didn't even show up for the press conference. But guess who did? Yeah, I did. And if you Google Willacoochee, voter fraud, and the mayor, you'll see all of this. You see, if I had not recorded this, the white controlled, the white owned, the white dominated news media network would have been successful in hiding the historic record forever. And that truth and that history would have been lost forever. But thank God for the real, truthful white European founding fathers of this great republic who said, real freedom of the press, real freedom of speech, etc., etc. And we as a people, black people, and white people and others, we must never bow down to become the followers of Satan, as too many Americans have done and allowed themselves to fall prey at this dispensation. Let me rush right on now. I'm going to go fast now. Leave Willacoochee. Go to Douglas and Coffee County with Olivia Coley Pearson. It is a damn shame the way they've done her. It's a shame how they've done her. Now, yesterday, they arrested her again. They arrested her. Yep. Brought up charges on her. And all I can say to you all is this. She haven't called me. I don't care if she do. She don't have to call me. But I don't know what happened. What I can say, I have enough documented facts to assist her and to go in any courtroom and show her what the white owned, the white dominated, the white controlled, to show them what Judge Spivey, Judge Brooks, and others, and the assistant district attorney, Sansock, I can show you what I have gone through, even to denying me on the Rule 22 to be in the courtroom, because they knew that I'm going to report the truth to you. Because as a retired military veteran, if I could put my life on the line for over 21 years to be willing to die for this country, surely I should come home and be willing to die for my own mother, father, sister, brother, children, neighbors, and my fellow white Americans. Yeah. I haven't finished yet. Willacoochee, not Willacoochee, Homerville, Georgia. Homerville, Georgia. Lord have mercy. Google Homerville, Georgia and voter fraud, and how the county attorney tried their best to, I guess, to clear his friend, and they did it. But wait a minute, let me close by saying this. If you go up around the Athens and Augusta area, you will find the same problems up there. Olivia Coley Pearson had a meeting there in Coffee County, and people from that area came down and presented their case, and guess what? The news media didn't show up there either, but guess who got it? It's on YouTube. Just Google my channel, Boston G.B.R, Douglas and Coffee County, Georgia. And that's all you got to do, man. See, all of us cannot drive the bus off the cliff with all our children on board. Some of us got to have enough love to try to save this republic from itself before it destroys itself. I just cut this video to let you all know that all Americans are not fools. All Americans are not blind. All Americans do not believe that in Gordon, Georgia, Mary Ann Whippaloo is a fool, lunatic, or ignorant. They didn't have no problem with Mary Ann Whippaloo until she asked about a forensic audit to investigate how them white folks had spent the money there in Gordon. Yeah. But when she asked for that forensic audit, that's when all hell broke loose on the backside of heaven. Then the finance chair, the late finance chair, Terry Reese, asked about $1.5 million that he could not account for. He talked about a city with less than 3,000 people having 19 banking accounts. And as the finance chair, he didn't know how much money was in those accounts. He died. But he said that he wanted to see the crooks in Gordon, Georgia, arrested and put in prison. As you know, the news media and them wicked white folk and them wicked Uncle Tom black folk, they got rid of her. And when they got her out of office, you haven't heard nothing about a forensic audit. You haven't heard nothing about the $1.5 million being investigated. You haven't found no auditor coming in to audit anything about the taxpayers' money. And I have a video showing that the editor of the Wilkinson County Post was given $45,000 of taxpayers' money. Let me say it again. $45,000 of taxpayers' money for nothing. You can look at the video and see where she asked the police to arrest her. Say, take me to jail. Come on, take me to jail. Mayor Pro Tem Edie, Densley, and others, not the black ones, other than Densley, they all awarded her. They awarded her $45,000 that taxpayers paid for. And she took that money and she spent it the way she wanted. And they thought that would be enough, I guess, to get rid of the mayor, Mary Ann Whippaloo. And now she's running for state office. Just like in Brooks County when they tried to get rid of Professor or Dr. Nancy Dennard and Diane Thomas. And since them white folk, along with the Uncle Tom's black folk, got to live with Nancy Dennard being elevated to the mayor of that city, Diane Thomas remains in a key position, and she's an educator. The other lady, Lula Smart, I think I got that right. She was elected to the city council. Former Governor Nathan Deal removed those elected officials from office for over a year, only to put them back. Now, Rachel Maddow won't talk about this. Now, she said a few words about it, but I sent her far more information than that. Nancy Grace don't talk about that, but I sent her the information. Al Sharpton, he have not called any of these people in that I told you about, for the most part, and did an in-depth investigation. We interviewed all cities, walked the streets. I walked with the Representative Tyrone Brooks. We sent videos, DVDs, signed off by Representative Tyrone Brooks, Senator Brown, Jesse Jackson, Rainbow Pusher, turned out of Atlanta, Reverend Joseph Lyra all signed off about voter suppression, voter intimidation, and removing black elected officials from office. We sent all this information to President Barack Hussein Obama and Eric Holder, then to Miss Lynch, and they didn't do a damn thing about it. When they was in key positions, they could have done something, but they didn't do a damn thing about it. I'm talking about the Democratic Party in Georgia under the board chair, DuBose Porter. Representative Tyrone Brooks talked about it. Other leaders across the state talked about this voter suppression, voter intimidation, and removing blacks from office. And now they tell me, the Democratic Party, they're concerned about the right to vote for black folk. I say to the Democratic Party, the hell you do. If you really care, there's no way in heaven nor hell you could allow these black folk to go through what I've witnessed, recorded, and documented. And you never did an in-depth interview on these people. It is a damn shame, to tell you the truth. It is a damn shame without water in it. And all of us can't go to sleep at the wheel with all our children on the bus and with our sons and daughters that joined the United States Armed Forces to fight the wars of a nation. Through history, prove that they don't give a damn for us. After 465 years in North America, they are proving to black people, we never cared for you and never will. The truth must be told, as Jesus said, so that lies can be exposed. But thank God for Donald Trump. As I close, thank God for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, perhaps, is the best thing that happened to this country. Yes, I'm going to say it again. Perhaps Donald Trump is the best thing that ever happened to this country. Yeah, man, I'm going to say it again. Perhaps this man, 45, is the best president that was ever elected by the American people in the United States of America. Some of you may ask, Brother Rhines, why you say that? Because this president have exposed the darkness or the whiteness of your neighbor, your black and white right friends. See, you didn't know yesterday, but today, you know your enemies. You know white folks that are racist today. You know black folk that hate themselves and their children and the work that those black and white right people did yesterday. You didn't know yesterday, but God allowed Donald Trump to pull the wool from over your eyes. And now you know that they don't give a damn about you. You're not fooled today. Many of the white folks who walk with Donald Trump, black folk who walk with this man, they know who he is. They know exactly who he is. And they know, if I know, they know why God allowed him to be in the position that he's in. If I know they know. Donald Trump is here to fulfill divine scriptures. The book of Revelations we read, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen, is fallen. You see, if you're not about truth, right, and justice, you should stop lying to the masses of the people. This is where we are today, y'all. So when you hear people talk about they want freedom and justice and equality for all, well, why in the hell haven't they granted to the black man, woman, and their children after 465 years in North America? We have not betrayed this country, even when we was considered 3/5 of a human being. We stood by this country. We love white folk, man. Most black folk love white folk better than they love themselves. And it's not them. God ordained you to do that so you can understand him. King David said as I close, my own familiar friend who walked with me and who supped with me and who dined with me and who drank my wine have lifted up his heels against me. That's where you are today. Jesus said, have I not chosen you 12 and one of you is a devil or a Judas? Jesus said, all souls are mine, said the Lord of creation. And so, Jesus wanted you to know that the soul that sinneth must die. No man can be called a servant of God without love for all life sources, not only human beings. And if you haven't reached that level today, then you know why God sent Trump among us. That's why he lied to you and you believe him. This is why you love him so much. But Jesus said, as I close, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. Those are the words of Jesus. Jesus never wanted us to be deceived. The volume of sacred law says, I would that no man teach you. For you would have an unction from the Holy One, and you would know all things. And if you cannot see the man in the mirror, then God must have smeared your conscience with a hot iron so you cannot see his divine plan. So you cannot see those that know about Isaiah 35:8, where the highway shall be there. And it was for those, the wayfaring men, and the wicked shall not err therein. You see, the book says God will give some people over to a reprobated mind, that they would believe a lie rather than the truth. And that's why Hitler got his followers, because God allowed them to be seduced and deceived by the forces that he ordained to be among the ungodly. You see, Pharaoh was not a bad man, not really. According to scripture, God told Moses, I'm going to harden the heart of Pharaoh. That wasn't Pharaoh's heart. The book says, if you read it, God said, I'm going to harden the heart of Pharaoh. That's what he said. Don't blame Pharaoh. Blame God if you want to blame someone. But in the end, truth, right, and justice go win. Well, don't y'all hate on Trump. Thank God for allowing Trump to do what God gave him to do. Trump can't help himself. The First Lady can't help herself. Juliana can't help himself. Lindsey Graham can't help himself. Mitch McConnell can't help himself. This is God's divine and holy plan for America. So don't y'all get mad. Yeah, go out and vote. I've already voted. I didn't vote for Trump, but I go out and vote. God gave us this country. And God allowed us to come in captivity from Africa for a divine and holy purpose. Oh, you don't see it yet. But in not too many more decades, you're going to see why God had the black man, woman, and their children to take a second trip to North America. See, the first people to be here in North America was black folk anyway. It's all documented. But your white Americans wouldn't tell you that. But they had the book on you. They know who you are, black man, black woman, and black children. They know you, and they know where you stand with your God. Don't y'all pick up weapons or war against this white man. Don't try to fight him with weapons of war. Read the book of Deuteronomy, the book of Jeremiah. God already told you not to pick up weapons of war. Don't plan for the civil war, another civil war. God said, this is my war. And he said, he don't want you fighting for him. That's right. Read between the lines. Just don't go to church and be a tool and a fool for others to use. Open up the third eye. Open up the pineal gland and think outside of the box of incarceration and indoctrination. Olivia, Coley, Pearson, be strong. God he's not through with you yet. He got something else he wants you to do. So the wicked in Douglas and Coffee County will be exposed. They got Mr. Allen in jail. Lost $40,000 in the city of Douglas. And those